cursing. I thought that this would work, and it didn't work. I need to rotate my phone. Typical. This is always how it goes. Chat filter. Gotta open it up. All messages. Hello, everybody. Let me know if you can hear me. And if this is making horrible noises from my phone. Is this gonna work? It'll kind of work. Can I back it up anymore? Yeah, sure. Well, once again, we have reached the time. Hi. Hi, Rebecca. Hi, Rebecca. Right? This is Rebecca, right? I want to make sure. Sarah, Lilith, hello, everybody. Megan, welcome. Welcome to the new corner. We saw it a little bit in my pilot video, correct? Hello, Vampire Townhouse. Look at this. Look at this. My wrist is all fucked up. I can't like really wave. No, nothing. Hello, Key. Well, right off the bat, guys, since Rebecca, I know you informed me that you're watching this sneakily at work. And to anyone else who's also sneakily watching my live streams at work, can I just say, power to you. That's what I like to hear. Fuck those corporations. What is that saying? I make $1, the boss makes... Wait, no. Boss makes $1, I make a dime. That's why I watch Autumn Bottom on company time. That's how the phrase goes, right? I did see the new Sam photos that dropped today. Are we going to talk about those? What? Oh, that'd be crazy. That'd be crazy. First up, though, Rebecca, she messaged me last week and was like, hey, could I send you a little something? And I said, absolutely. Gifts are my favorite thing in the world, which they are. And she was like, okay, it's going to be 2 packages. First one delivered. I was opening it up with Sydney, and she was like, what if this is just exactly mirroring the pilot episode of Interview with a Vampire, where you open it up and you find out that you've interviewed a vampire, like it's cassette tapes? And I said, ha ha ha, oh my god, amazing. And then I open up the package, and you guys tell me what that is. That's a cassette player. So, who knows? Because I just literally, like 5 minutes before the stream started, just got package number 2. So we're going to see what's in here. And I'm very excited. I have my trusty knife, as always. What's life without a knife? That's what I'm always saying. That's my catchphrase. Oh yeah. You hear that? That's the sound of me not slicing open my thigh, which is what this is balanced on. Oh my god, interesting newspaper. What is this? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Wait, F. Murray Abraham narrates this? Are you kidding me? That's amazing. Michael York, that name sounds really familiar, but I can't place it at the moment. But it's Interview with the Vampire Lestat, and Queen of the Damned, all on audiobooks. Which is just phenomenal. Oh wow. Look at the covers and everything. Oh my gosh. Wow. I'm gonna be like that pretentious person on the airplane, you know, next time I'm flying, listening to my cassettes and be like, guys, it just sounds better on the tape, you know. They just keep hitting. I feel like I need to display these somewhere. These are gonna go. I still need to finish organizing all of my built-ins. You guys saw last stream when I was showing you around my room and everything. I'm still not like, I got everything set up, and then I stopped at the final touches, which is very typical Autumn Brown thing to do, is just to leave everything unfinished right up until like the final moment, you know? I do. I get to be Daniel. I'm so excited about that. Thank you very much, Rebecca. I love it. I love it. Guys, what are we sipping on today? Great question. Great question. This is a wine spritz with lemon and elderflower. Wine spritz. It just came in the bottle like that. I'm not really familiar with it. With gin, Cointreau, and limoncello LaCroix. Ooh hoo hoo. She's fancy. Ha ha. Oh, you see that again? Oh, my stupid wrist. I'm sorry if I have weird energy during this stream. I've not been sleeping very well. I'm not feeling the best. Not feeling the best. But we party on. High time for crying, guys. That's the mood. Hello, Tracy. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. I thought that I would make a PowerPoint today, and I thought that I was being really clever doing that to keep me on track. I am very brave, Lilith. Thank you. But I'm realizing now, with it being on my phone, this is all mirrored and backwards for you, which wasn't very smart on my part. But we're gonna roll with it, and I don't know, maybe watch me in your mirror, and it'll be almost like I'm, you know, you're the evil stepmother, and I'm the mirror on the wall talking to you, and maybe that's a role play that we can do. So you ask now, who's the fairest of them all? I say Louis de Pontelac. Of course. Okay. So right off the top of the bat here, interview with the vampire pilot video. Guys, I've released 2-hour-plus long videos since the last time we chatted. How crazy is that? Whoa, I haven't been that productive since a year and a half ago. She's a busy girl. She's been a busy girl. No, we're not doing that. Anyways, while I was editing, though, which took me forever, it was a nightmare, just so you guys know. It is going to be like a puzzle, Sophia. Take any screenshot from this and make a jigsaw puzzle and piece it together. It'll be easy. I had a terrible realization while I was editing this, which is I am simply, fuck it. I'm just my little brother in drag. That's it. Look at that. Which one's Autumn? If you hadn't seen the video, you wouldn't know. All right? It's disappointing. I thought that I was so unique. I thought I was my own person. And here we are. Here we are. Hello, Kimberlyn. You know what? Actually, you're so right. When I was in college, I did a theater makeup class for half a semester. And there was one course where we had to gender bend and put on like a beard and do extra eyebrows and everything. So that was my character's Brett. Actually, my mom, it was very shocking because like we grew up very conservative, and I posted the photos on Facebook, and I didn't know how she was. I mean, I didn't think that she would respond poorly to it because she's very like loving and everything. But she just commented, should I call you August now? So yeah, my mom kind of came up with my male alter ego name. It's August, short for Augustine. So thank you, Mom. Yeah, what else are we talking about today? Oh, Autumn Nights. I did an Autumn Nights. Hope you guys liked it. I know I'm not adopted. Also, because my little brother Brett looks exactly like my father, which I don't think I do. I don't think I really look like my dad or my mom. But how can I look that much like Brett and he looks just like my dad, and me not think I look just like my dad. I don't know. It doesn't, genetics don't make any sense. But hope you guys liked the videos. I hope I wasn't too much of a Debbie Downer, but I always start off skeptical until I have more information. So if I came off as like shooting people down, I'm sorry. I need more facts before I confirm anything. But I did want to say that was not my first time filming the Autumn Nights video. I filmed the night before, and then the next morning I woke up and I put all the footage into my editing bay, and I had 3 hours of me talking, responding to questions. And it was very scattered, and it wasn't good, and I said, there's no way that I'm going through all of this. I simply cannot. This was supposed to be a quick turnaround video. That's why everything was pushed back. So I edited down the questions as much as I could, which I still ended up with an hour-plus long video, so that tells you a lot. And yeah, I refilmed it the next day. But I just wanted to shout out my original look, because guys, I looked hot as hell. Look at this. Look at that. Look at the hair. Ugh. Isn't it phenomenal? And it absolutely did not stay through one night of sleep. Like, look at the ruffles. Look at the movement. Look at the texture. Oh my God. I looked fantastic. Ugh. Like, I think I looked fine in the next one, but with that in my head, this in my head, no way. There's just no comparing. This was a one and done thing. We'll never see an autumn like this again. It was a total slay. And I'm sad. Actually, I'll do this for the stream. I'll show you this one screenshot for the stream. Do I still have it? Because I actually... I didn't do it in my refilming because I was like, I don't want this screenshot out into the world. Oh, where did it go? Fuck. Let me just pull up DaVinci, see if I can find it. I'm afraid now. This is live. What are we going to see on DaVinci? Yes, open. Where is it? We're going to shut that up. Yes, here we go. I started doing all this shit with my legs. When I said Armand's gonna fuck that old man for sure, this was the screenshot for it. Which again, an absolute slay for the girlies, but the internet at large, they don't need access to that. So, we're keeping that away. Anyways, back to my very professional, well put together PowerPoint here. Petition to get the unedited 3-hour video. Trust me, you don't want it. You don't want it. Every video that I film, whatever the end time is, so like let's say if it's an hour-long video, the filming is at least double that, with all the pauses and me screwing up lines, I don't know, stumbling over my words, saying something and saying, oh, I said that really stupid, redoing it. It's such a hassle to work through. Oh God, editing Autumn hates filming Autumn. We have beef for real. Next up, wow, 14 minutes in, I'm still not to the meat of it, but that's okay. Chats with my dad, which only happen very rarely. Sometimes we share playlists, music playlists. That's like the most thing that we connect over. So I sent him one for June, to which he said, he expressed condolences to see the couch go. And then he also said, I enjoyed your playlist, Song for Zula, Next to Me, and Vian et Moi were my favorites. Secret Vampire Girly, Peter Brown. Everybody give one out for Pete. Woo! Because he's not watched the show. He doesn't know anything about the show. other than I'm really into it, but he doesn't give a shit regardless. So I was like, oh, that's interesting that out of all the songs that I put on there, that's one of them that really stood out to you. So, A, Daniel Hart, you slay. Everyone can identify that, even people who aren't in the show. So I was like, I'm really interested what you have to think about the song because, you know, within the context of the show, plays at a really, really gut-wrenching, heartbreaking scene. So I can only really listen to it every now and then. Like when it pops up on the playlist, I have to skip most of the time because you just gotta be in the right mood for it, right? So I asked him what he thought of it, and this is what he said. It kind of made me think of the scene in Bambi where the mama deer gets chased, then whacked. He's a poet, all right? Piano at the end is where Bambi realizes mama is gone. And if that isn't the vibe, nail on the head, right? Dad got it. Dad got it. He's not even seen the show. So, I mean, once again, Daniel Hart knows what he's doing, because that's absolutely the vibe. Catholic mom wanted to watch the show, and I had to give her so many warnings. Oh my God, same with my mom. She was like, oh, should I watch this show? And I was like, yeah. Before you do, though, which she hasn't gone and watched it now, which I shouldn't have given her any warnings. I should have just said, have fun, but whatever. Yes, Vampire Townhouse. We have taste. You need to send me a new music playlist, by the way, soon. Taste. Oh my God, one more thing I wanted to share, and then we'll get into Interview with the Vampire stuff, I promise. You guys are being so patient. Wow, look at you. You guys get a drink. Shall we do some ASMR? I'm just kidding. No. How crazy would that be? This channel takes a hard left into ASMR territory. I could. Anyways, I just wanted to tell you guys about this little interaction I had with a customer this past Saturday. So I'm working, obviously, and this like middle-aged, like well put together woman walks in, and she's got this kind of crowd of middle-aged men lingering around the door behind her, and they're kind of looking around. So in our establishment, you know, we have a little sign by the door that says, please wait to be seated. So I'm just thinking they're waiting for one of us to go and approach them and sit them down. So I approach the lady and I say, hi, welcome, and how many in your group today? And she immediately goes in for the handshake, which is like very interesting energy for customers. And yeah, I shook her hand and she was like, hello, I'm Adriana. I'm friends with the owner, Craig, which that is our owner's name. And I was like, oh, okay. She said, we have a little private dinner set up. It's in and she says the name of like the private room that we have at our establishment. I was like, oh, okay. She said, Craig tried to give me directions to it, but we just got really confused. I was wondering if you could escort us to the private dining area, because we have a separate place. It's like it's a totally separate entrance from the establishment, so it's really great for, you know, if you want to have a party, or like we have like bachelorette parties, shit like that there all the time. You don't even have to go through the restaurant. So I said, absolutely, like follow me. And the guys are still kind of lingering on the door, and I'm like, ugh, fucking men, like you have to tell them everything, because we start to go and they're just still by the door, and I'm like, hey, follow me. And we're walking. So I lead them up this little stairs, and I lead them to go through the courtyard, and then our manager comes out, and he's immediately, like, I can tell he's got like kind of frantic energy, which he's a very like New York East Coast type of vibe, like nothing phases him. His name's Joe. So yeah, it was weird to see him kind of seem a little bit nervous. And as soon as he sees them, he's like, right this way, guys, right this way. Like, hi, I'm Joe. And like shaking everyone's hands as they're coming up and they're introducing themselves. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Why is he being so weird? And everyone goes through and we walk down the stairs and Joe's like, oh, they weren't supposed to go through the front. They were supposed to go through the back. Oh, Craig's going to love this. Oh, why did they come through the front? I'm like, what does it matter? Like, I got them to the place. What is the big deal? And apparently the big deal was the main person who the dinner was for was James Hetfield, which is this guy, which is the lead singer of Metallica. So yeah, that's pretty cool, I guess. Unfortunately, he doesn't look like this anymore. He looks like this. So I didn't recognize him because he looks just like any other middle-aged white dude, to be honest with you. And they were all wearing just basic t-shirts and jeans. I had a moment where I was like, these guys look kind of familiar, but again, it didn't clock it. But however, in my defense, like, Sam Reed could walk into my restaurant and I would be like, wow, has anyone ever told you that you look just like Sam Reed? Like, there's nowhere in my mind where I would accept that this person really, like that I would be running into a famous person or whatever. Not that it really matters. And it was probably for the best anyways, because had I recognized him, he probably didn't want to be bothered. They were supposed to go through the back, like, but yeah, fun little story about my weekend. Inspiration, guys? Just like a tiny bit? Not really. Metallica's not really the Lestat vibe, but shirtlessness. That's the vibe. Except if it was Jacob Anderson. Even still, like, I would probably just be like, God, that guy looks a lot like Jacob Anderson. I mean, even when obviously when I was at the premiere, I knew it was them, but I was like, is this really them for real? Or are these just doubles? But whatever. Shirtless Lestat seems to be the vibe for season 3. I agree, Savannah. I agree. Getting to you guys' questions. Megan asked, what have you been watching lately? Any good recommendations? Drag Race. I've been watching so much Drag Race, guys. I love it. Oh, what an incredible show. Best reality show on the market. I don't watch a lot of reality TV, so I'm by far not the person to make that claim, but I love it. Robert Platt in the younger years, absolutely. I've also been watching Severance, which I think I might do my next Autumn Nights video on. I've got 2 more episodes in the 2nd season, so we'll see how this all ends out, and then I'll be in the boat with everybody else who has to wait like 3-4 years for the next season. Can't wait for that. We thought waiting for season 3 of Interview with a Vampire was rough. I'm about to get on the real rough train, the real struggle bus. Tracy, hope you're still out there. Growing media presence of Interview with the Vampire season 3, and perhaps your San Diego Comic-Con plans, question mark. Yay, Sophia, I've got one viewer from my Autumn Nights Severance video. Fuck yeah. Oh, and Lilith. Oh, devastating. Yes, I love devastation. Can I just say, after the first season finale, I literally, you can ask Sydney. I mean, you can't, she's doing her D&D game right now, but like off the couch, leapt off, jumping up and down, running around the living room. Yes, Savannah, listen to the people. I hadn't watched Severance because when I first saw ads for it and everything, the first season, I thought, oh, this seems like a really interesting concept that'll probably not be because there's so many shows out there that are getting rushed that have really great concepts, but again, they're not given the time that they need to develop, so they can't follow through on the promise of that original concept that they have. So I thought it was going to be one of those shows. And then once season 1 came out, people were like, holy shit, that was amazing. I need season 2 right now. And I was like, oh, apparently Severance is really good. I should watch it. And then I found, like, people kept being like, I need season 2 confirmation now. And we didn't get that. And I was like, well, I'm not going to watch it till I get that season 2 confirmation, because apparently it's going to drive me crazy if this show gets canceled and there's no season 2. So I waited and I waited and I waited. And then finally, when they announced season 2, I was like, okay, after season 2 comes out, I will watch it. Because I think it's one thing to just be left off on one season. At least if it's canceled after 2 seasons, like, that gives you enough to go on and make your own conspiracies about how it would have and should have ended, but 1 season is not enough. So, yeah, after the 2nd season came out, I was like, I'm gonna watch it, and Sydney's really into it, so I think she's been having a good time watching me freak out. Speaking of random venues and celebrities, I recently started going to a hair salon that's owned by this guy who, it turns out, is married to Britt Lauer. Whoa! That's crazy. I realized when I was editing my Autumn Nights video that Britt Lauer is in the, is it Lauer or Lower? I've only ever read it. I'm gonna stick with Lauer. Is in the Wolf music video by the Yeah Yeah Yeahs, which is the song that I said I wanted to make a Wolf Killer edit to once season 3 comes out, so I need that Wolf Killer scene. Incredible. Wait, Autumn D&D night? Please. I always said I've never played D&D. That's not true. I have, but it was with... it was fun. It was, like, done by 2 different DMs. One of them was really fun, but I didn't understand anything. Like, no one explained anything to me. So they would just be like, roll. And I'd say, okay. And they're like, what do you want to do? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. But one of the DMs was really fun. And then the other one ruined everything. We stopped meeting because he was so bad. Oh, Maggie! Yeah, you gotta go to bed. It's really late for you, probably like 1 a.m. or something. Am I a Magic the Gathering girly? I'm not like in any, not like super into any D&D or like any tabletop roleplay games or anything like that. I know that's a big disappointment for a lot of people, Sydney included, because she's really into that. For vampire fans who also like D&D, you should check out World of Darkness system, specifically Vampire the Masquerade. Sleep tight, Maggie. Get some rest. Take some melatonin if you need it. Thanks for stopping in. I just completely lost all train of thought. Oh, Sophia has told me about this game before in the past, so it's not a passing fad for her. Apparently it's really, really fucking good, so if you're into that, check it out. I just don't know how to break in, you know? I know that it's easy. I don't know. I've just been busy, okay? Oh, yeah. All right. Thank you, Sarah, for chiming in. I'm sorry that we didn't even get to the interview with the vampire stuff before you had to leave, but we'll catch you next time. Yeah. I don't know why I do know why I included the maps, because Tracy was talking about the increased exposure for Interview with the Vampire Season 3, and I was like, this sounds really prestigious and snotty now. I didn't mean it to come off snotty. I'm like, but because with them filming in Toronto, like a large part of the fan base is in the US. I think it's fair to make that assessment. So that's a lot easier for us to hop on over and like really creep on the set versus going over to Europe and Prague where they were filming last season. And also, I mean, I think with every season, it's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. I don't know why I felt the need to include maps of where the US is located and Canada and Europe. For any of those who are geographically challenged, go for it. Oh my god, my nose is running so much. Sorry, guys. Have you watched Lambs of God with Sam Reed? I've watched the first episode of it. Wasn't super into it, had to say. Sorry. It's only 3 episodes. So let me know if I should finish it. I know that he enjoyed it, apparently. It was about like the telling feminine tales, but hell yeah. Savannah likes maps. There, that was for you, Savannah. Let's discuss. What's the best looking country on a map? Which one has the best shape? Chime off. Certified quitter. Yeah. Again, I don't know. I thought it was an interesting concept. And I will say, spoiler alert, if you don't want spoilers for Lambs of God, the first episode ends with him going out the window, and I thought that he died. So I was like, oh, well, I'm not going to watch this anymore if he dies. Like, that was the only reason I was watching. So that's really why I stopped watching. And then I found out, like, months later, someone was, like, some gift set on Tumblr. I'm pretty sure he doesn't die, and he does pop back up. And they rehabilitate him and, like, Stockholm Syndrome him, I think, maybe. That's the vibe I got from the gift set and the discussion I saw. So, yeah. If I'd known that he didn't die after that first episode, I probably would have kept watching. However, since I thought that he did, I was like, well, fuck it. That was my only reason to watch this. And it's literally gone out a window. So yeah, again, if you really liked it, give me a reason to watch it. But if you're like, yeah, you didn't really need to stick around, let me know. Honestly, Italy really does. It really did kind of pop off in the way that the tectonic plates shifted and moved and created its lovely cunty little Chanel booty vibes. It does have the best shape. I'm gonna agree with that. Never thought I'd be yearning to be in Toronto so hard, but here we are. Yeah. The vibes are the same. Every day I wake up and I say, why am I not in Toronto? But I think I've lucked out. I'm in Denver. I should be happy. And I am. I'm doing great. It upset my mom too severely when he was shaved bald in episode 1. And that's valid. That's totally valid. Those luscious, I'm gonna say it, red locks, gone, right? Definitely a ginger, at least at that point in time. All right, I'm gonna stand by. Maybe his hair has changed over time. Definitely, it happens. But at that point in time, Sam was more ginger than blonde. I'm gonna say it. Hawaiian Islands are such a satisfying shape to me, partially because of their shift over the... They really... It's almost like a broken up exclamation point. You know? They're not all scattered everywhere. They kind of flow in this lovely curved line and get like smaller and smaller as it goes along. It's beautiful. Okay, moving on. Oh. You also asked if I was my Comic-Con plans. Literally found out today. I'm going to Comic-Con. Yeah, so yay. Yeah. So Sophia, I'll see you soon. Anyone else going to be in San Diego? 25th through the 27th? Chime off, because I'll be there. I'll be running around. And we'll see what I get into. I'm pretty excited. I didn't think that it was gonna happen. Because I could not nab a pass on my own. I tried to, and yeah, I may have used some back doors that I've gotten access to. um, and here we are. So, unfortunately, finding a hotel, that's the shitty part. Because whoa, do they really overcharge for San Diego Comic-Con? And especially this late in the game. I mean, I was even looking at it last year, like back in October, and they know. So, that's rough. But you only live once, right? And that's why God invented credit cards. Sam's face when you mentioned his hair color. I think it's good to humble a man every now and then, just really make them question everything about them. And it got us the most Lestat answer we could have ever gotten from him. Right? Am I right? Am I right? Him saying, if I'm not blonde, then what am I? What more could you ask for? Okay? Is anyone else gonna get you that tidbit? No. Autumn Bottom Brown exclusive. So yeah. Anyways, Comic-Con. Very excited. If anyone happens to have an uncle who owns a hotel and has an extra room or something, because there's no room at the inn. And new baby Jesus needs room. Oh yeah. Shout out to my nails. Get closer. Ugh. My friend Sammy did those. Truly iconic. I asked her to do, let's see, Harlequin, like a Harlequin pattern for Harlequin step. This is like a theater, like stage. It's kind of hard to see because of the flash and the glare. Fire, for all the fire and shit. Gold for, because we needed something that was less energy than all the other nails. But I thought it was very like cunty and Lestat-y to have a gold nail. And, the moon, the sun, the opposite of the sun, the moon and the stars. I guess stars aren't the opposite of the sun. I guess none of it's the opposite of the sun. Because there's not really opposites. I guess the opposite would be a black hole, really. Is Interview with a Vampire going to have a panel at all this year, since they are in the middle of filming? I assume not. I mean, how would I know? But yeah. Right? Yeah. I do what I can, Vampire Townhouse, honestly. It's a lot, heading up this show and being the generator of all of these wonderful ideas. So, what do I know? Anyways. I mean, yay for Comic-Con. Am I right? Moving on to some set photos. Shall we? Cheers, everybody. What a week it's been. Am I right? It's been a wonderful, wonderful week. Namely because of this image right here. This image. And it looks horrible on this computer screen. Whatever. Roland did say that he could tell us more in a month back in June. Yeah. I'm kind of, so I would like to preface for everybody out there, I'm not doing anything Interview with a Vampire related. And I know I've said that in the past, but genuinely, at this point in time at least, I'm not like getting to do any interviews or anything like that for Comic-Con. So don't get your hopes up for that. But maybe I blundered a little bit because I kind of thought this was out there, but and I probably should have let it be. But I don't know. You guys are very cool and keep things quaint and high and tight for me. So I don't know. I think I really don't know. But I would assume from certain things that I've heard, we should be getting something. And I know this seems like I'm backtracking, but I'm trying to like go through what I have heard, and I haven't actually heard anything concrete now that I think about it. And I'm being very serious, despite laughing. So anyways, we're gonna find out soon enough. Who knows? Because like I said, I really don't know. I'm just gonna stop talking, because I don't know what I know. I've never even heard of this show, guys. What are we talking about? Moving on to, you're right. Oh, yeah. You're right, Vampire Townhouse. You see, and this is why I love editing. This is why I love editing, because then I can say stupid things and edit it all out. But they did release that rap with Interview with a Vampire, which, like, well, it was very blurry, but obviously, it was Interview with the Vampire, right? And if they're not going to be there, why would they have the raps? That's what I'm saying. So anyways. It's not really that great, all right? Because again, I don't actually know anything. I've just made certain assumptions based on things that I've heard, but I don't know what okay, yeah, I don't know. Anyways, back to this. I mean, yeah, I do know something, Mira, but again, it's not Comic-Con related. I've just made a lot of assumptions on my own. Moving on. Thank you, Megan. Yeah. I'm gonna blame it on this and the lack of sleep. Yeah. Moving back on to Basement 77. The 77 years that Lestat was in a basement crying and sad, and yeah, working away at his piano, doing nothing at all. I'm not gonna look at comments anymore. Yeah, I am. Back to this. She says for the 48th time. Back to this. Who else? Who else? Was this the very first thing they saw when they woke up that morning, that Tuesday morning last week? And you said, guys, get a doctor. She's 9 centimeters dilated. Rosemary's Baby is coming out now. Because that was me, right? That was me. Look at that. Why haven't they released the t-shirts yet? I know that this leaked, but like, they know that it leaked. AMC knows that it's out there. Why aren't they releasing the merch? Why aren't they jumping on this? I want it. I want this on a t-shirt right now. I want to go to San Diego with this on a t-shirt right now. With the tour dates on the back. Ugh. Come on. It's so simple. It's right there. Let us have it. Next photo. The car. Which, lots of speculation. Everything I've said is seen that, or everything that I've seen has said that this is Lestat's car. And yeah, a big muscle car that makes a lot of noise and is green to match Louis' eyes. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I see that. However, I want to believe that this is Louis' car. I want this to be Louis' car, guys. Look at that green. Harkening back to like the 70s, you know, when he was just like not having a good time. He's reclaiming it. I did see the, I didn't like pay super attention to the press kit, but I want it so bad. So bad. Because, guys, last year when they were sending out the press kits too, I wanted one. I know I probably could have asked for one, but I just thought that maybe I would just get one. I never got a press kit. That's all I want. I love gifts. And I never got a press kit last year. And I didn't get a press kit this year. Not that I'm pressed, but like you would think, I don't know, maybe. I did those interviews. That would entitle me to getting a little box from AMC. No. I need one. I'm demanding one this year. I'm going to go up to the president of AMC. I'm going to say, we're making history, and you're giving me a press kit box. So yeah. And yes. Okay, wait, go back. Let's see. I've missed some comments. Oh, no, what did I do? Ooh. Okay, it's back. Savannah, me and you. Savannah says she thinks it's Louis' cars too. Is the car green in the book? I can't remember. In the book, I'm pretty sure Lestat, I'm pretty sure it's a Porsche. It's a Porsche, right? And I want to say it's either black or silver. It might be Daniel's. Oh, it could be Daniel's. But I want it to be Louis' car. Is it really green? I saw it as black. I mean, that looks green to me. It looks green to me. And it's got like a matte finish to it, which is crazy, right? Like, it's not glossy. It's not got that satin finish that most cars have. Oh my god. Vampire Townhouse, you're so right. Wait till you see my pretty automobile. That's a pretty automobile. Okay? Like, he cares about cars. He cares about the looks. He's stylish, alright? I don't know. Lestat has his tour bus. Does he need a muscle car too? Yeah, he does. But I want this to be Louis' car. Um, moving on. Guys, what do we think of these band names? Dark Rooms, by the way, Louis, photography, in a dark room, right? Right? What if, crazy twist, this is how this season goes. So we see later on Jacob at this location, right? Because he's got his own band, the Dark Rooms, right? Bear with me. And then the vampire Lestat and him, everything in this season culminates into a battle of the bands at the very end, and that's when Akasha comes onto the scene. At the big battle of the bands, it's Louis versus Lestat, and like all the other vampires come, and it's like that scene at the end of School of Rock, right? When all the parents find out and they come to break it up, and that's what the vampires are gonna do, right? They're gonna come and be like, ugh, we're gonna finally kill them too. And then we hear them both go, and suddenly they realize the power of music and how it can actually unite us all. And it's amazing. And then, boom, Akasha breaks through and steals Lestat. And she's like, I dubbed thee the winner of Battle of the Bands. Let's kill the world. And Queen of the Damned. So, sorry for spoiling the ending of season 3, but that's how it's gonna go. I missed a lot of comments in that, so let's run it back. Dark Rooms is also Daniel Hart's band. Of course you would know that. But it's also Louis' band. All right, Louis is coming in. Alexa, play Bloodsport. Yeah. Red card. Are we thinking poker? Are we thinking cards? We have a lot of references to cards and everything in this show. Or soccer fans. Because if it's soccer fans, get out of here. Idlewild. That's the like interview with a vampire version of Mumford and Sons. Idlewild. That's what I'm getting. You know? Just horrible folk music in a modern setting. No shade to Mumford and Sons, even though that was an incredible amount of shade to Mumford and Sons. Glass Mammoth, alternate to Glass Animals. Instead of writing Gooey and having that be their breakout song, they have a breakout song called Sticky. Right? The Wonder Strands. I'm getting very much She and Him vibes from that, which college age Autumn is super into, but now Autumn is like, all right, I'm not really feeling like a cardigan and skirt at the moment, so you guys can have that. Man, Any Man, terrible, right? Terrible. Chain Reaction, they definitely do bad dubstep and electronic music. Is that the vibe we're getting? 100%. The Blooms, indie, dream pop, alternative, I would be into the Blooms. Carson and Friends, that's a Beach Boys cover band, 100%. And I'm locking it in. Anyways. Wonderful, right? What more could we have asked for? Jacob and Sam hanging out together on set. It's beautiful. It's a dream come true. I just don't think that there's been anyone who's more perfect and beautiful in the world. No? Do you think we'll see much of Louis, or will he just show up? We're seeing so much of Louis, if you know what I'm saying. If you know what I'm saying. Because who said that he was visiting Lestat in his dressing room earlier? I saw that comment. Oh, you did. Mira. You did. Yeah. Oh my God. Louis gonna be all over this. I know in my Autumn Nights video, I hope it didn't get misconstrued. I know that I said that they're not gonna be together. That doesn't mean they're not gonna be fucking throughout the entire season. Oh my God. Like, 100%. All right? 100%. The glitter smeared across his face. Are you kidding me? The little bit of magenta pink whatever in his hair. I texted this to Vampire Townhouse and Amber earlier in the week, but I was like, this is 100% Lestat sitting on his bathroom floor at 5 in the morning, dipping his hair into the Screaming Phoenix Arctic Fox hair dye, saying, this'll fix me. This is gonna change everything. Right? This is like the male equivalent of chopping your hair into bangs at midnight, okay? Ugh. And I know that there's been a lot of discussion. Sorry, this is all a surprise to me. I've forgotten how I've ordered this. Anyways, love the forefront of a parfait in front of all of this, preceding all of this, right? Because fruity, creamy mixture. Am I right? Am I right? But, like, the real question, truly, filming a scene or actual security, like going away for the day? Because when I first saw this, I was like, ooh, filming a scene for sure. Just because I wanted to see. I wanted to manifest. Like, Lestat performing a show, Louis showing up to the show, then meeting backstage, getting in an argument, and being like, ugh, fans breaking through, we gotta get out of here. So they go into the car, fuck nasty in the car. Fuck nasty in the car, right? That's what we all want from this. But, I don't know. I feel like there would have been photos of cameras around the car and I don't know, them getting into the car, if that's what was happening in the scene. But we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. Anyways, the main point that I've seen a lot of people talk about is they're saying that this is the same shirt that Louis is wearing here. And to that, I disagree, unfortunately. Because why would... let's just go back. Let's go back. Did I not include the photo? No, I didn't. Well, we've seen these photos up close and personal. And this photo, if anything, is big on Sam. I mean, this shirt is big on Sam. And if it was Louis' shirt, it wouldn't be. Also, it looks like a denim material, and I don't think that Louis is wearing denim. Not a denim shirt. I'm sorry. And anyway, denim wouldn't fit into pants this nicely without weird bunching at the pants. So I don't think it's the same shirt. I think it's a modesty shirt, because yeah, as we mentioned earlier, topless Lestat is most important. So I think he was probably topless, and this is just the shirt that he put on so he wouldn't be just hanging out topless. And also, because it looks exactly like this shirt from the photos released today, which once again, I'm going to say it's his go-to modesty shirt, with these vibrant chartreuse, once again, velvety looking pants. Yeah. There are 0 shirts in the wardrobe for this season, except for like what's happening in the 1800s. So, yeah. I can't believe they're putting him in shoulder pads. The man who shoulder trees. Dude, when Vampire Townhouse sent me this photo, I was already on the couch and I dropped my phone on the floor. Because, girl, they're gonna put a football field on that man's shoulders. I love it. What's better than shoulder pads? Nothing. Nothing is more important in a costume than shoulder pads. I want every look. It's either no shirt or shoulder pads all the way. No in between, okay? If we're not making him look like a linebacker, I don't fucking want it. All right? This is the type of investigation that had Assad running scared, thinking you were getting too close to the truths of season 2. Very true. Also, I don't know if you guys saw the comment. I posted on my story, like, I said, I don't know, actual photo reveal, and I just drew on a red thong and bare ass for this. And, someone commented that they didn't realize that someone had whited out the photo. They just thought that Lestat was wearing a wedding dress skirt. Which I love. And how crazy would it be if that's the actual reveal? He's groom on the top, bride on the bottom. I know that's right. I know that's right. The shoulder pads are to accentuate that tiny waist even more, of course, as God intended. As God intended. Ridiculous body type in the best way possible. I just don't understand it. How's it physically possible? How does he not teeter over one way or the other when he's standing up straight? I don't know. Oh, this is so good. Like, what is this on the cuffs? Is this like a flare? Is this extra feathers, extra like funkiness? Is it gloves? Because, like, obviously, I think he's holding a water bottle or something like that. But it seems like I just don't see his skin, which 100%, this is a very blurry, weird angle photo. So this could mean nothing, but, like, I don't know. I'm just getting extravagance. And apparently the whiteout part wasn't to hide the costume, it was to hide the assistant walking behind him. I see that. It's the Virgin Mary, actually. There are cathedrals everywhere for those who have eyes to see them. Look at that. The Virgin of Guadalupe. Do you guys get that? Right there. Are we on the same page? I think so. We're there. The tour bus. The double-decker tour bus that I'm obsessed with. Don't worship that grave dug on your own. Don't burn alone. With all the gilded hands, I'm getting like idol worship from this, you know? Ugh. Stop making my nose run. Sorry. I don't have AC, so I have to have a fan on me at all times, or I'm just melting. Ugh. Anyways. I don't see like a whole ton of conjecture anymore, just because largely my source for that was Twitter, like back in the day. And as we all know, I don't go on Twitter anymore. But the little things that I've seen, I don't know, I just feel like this is maybe like a reference to me it screams like Nikki reference, but also like within that also Louis. I think someone asked a question, submitted a question about like the parallels between Nikki and Louis for season 3 and everything. And it was a question, I meant to get to it, but unfortunately it just didn't make the cut. I think by the time I got to that one, I was so tired. I just didn't have the energy to get to it. But, I mean, I think there's obviously so much potential to make so many fun, well, not fun, opposite of fun, kind of similarities between the two of them, but yet how they also differ at the end of the day. And so for me, don't worship that grave, dug on your own, don't burn alone, because obviously Nikki was the one to go. And just like the fascination with like death and what happens, you know, their whole conversations about what it means to be good, and if what they're doing is good, and how Nikki always saw what in their pursuit of pleasure and just living their lives as sin, and all the kind of suicidal thoughts in there. We're going for a really positive vibe in the chat tonight. But yeah, so worshiping the grave kind of feels more Nikki to me, even though obviously Louis dealt with that as well. Let's see, Mira says, I'm not a fan of Lestat with Nikki. I want Lestat to love Louis more than Nikki. And he does. I mean, I very much, he says that in the books, right? That like he loves Louis more than he like loved anyone else. And yeah, I think that's very much going to be the case going forward. But couldn't it mean burning with desire? I mean, I guess it could. Again, we have no information. So I am not the type of person to like say something with finality until we get more information. So sure, it could be don't worship that grave in reference to, because when I first saw that, because the first image we saw, we didn't have the dug on your own or don't burn alone, or at least I didn't. So when I first saw don't worship that grave, I thought it was saying like don't worship the grave of like vampirism, like a message to the fans, like don't desire for it, you know, because you know, that's something that they talk about a lot. Well, not like a lot, but within the books, that vampires can't be friends with mortals because then it drives them crazy because they want to be a vampire. Like anyone presented with the idea of being able to live forever wants to be turned. And so initially when I saw that, I thought it was saying, don't worship that grave. Like, don't want for the death. But then, like I said, once we got the dug on your own, I'm like, oh, someone putting themselves in the grave, don't burn alone. And since, like I said, Nikki burned alone, he threw himself into the fire, it kind of seems like that. But also, I think that could also be a reference to Louis as well, with everything that happened in the 70s. And I know that he's moving on and growing, but like, don't allow yourself to get to that point again. I think the story of Nikki makes Lestat even more heartbreaking. Exactly! It 100% does, because it's almost like Lestat, I mean, it very much is him kind of finding the same type of man again, like, but in a completely different body. Words. Where, I don't know, you get the sense that he thought things would very much be different this time around. But I guess Lestat maybe has a type. And yeah. Like just seeing all the ways that Lestat tried to overcorrect maybe from Nikki, and it just circled back and bit him in the ass once again. Which I can't wait to explore more for season 3. In the show he didn't answer as Claudia asked this, that he spoke about Nikki's beauty in the trial. He did, but I think it was, you know, it's a tough subject. But I think we're gonna, and it wasn't the time, you know, for it. So, yeah. that's not something that they were, because if you like dig into it too much, it's the same reason I feel like that we like didn't get the Gabrielle reveal in season 2, because it's one of those like things where if you start to dig into it, you really got to go for it, which I know that we like saw a little bit of Nikki and we have had these references from the get-go, but I think it's one of those things they couldn't really present a whole lot of information about until it's time to really tell the story in its entirety. So up until this point, it's just been like hints. I love the Nikki story because you get to see Lestat in a very naive, innocent state. That first love type of pain that's so utterly devastating. Yes! And it really, it shapes, it's that type of love that like shapes how you view the rest of your life. I feel like a lot of people can resound with that, whether or not, because most people, their first love is not the most important love that they have in their life. And like the emotionality aspect, like it's, they go on to like have an even greater love. However, it is kind of most important in the sense that it really informs how you go about pursuing love and what you look for in love moving forward, and all the pros and cons that that, you know, entails. He had Nikki's grim intensity, his rebelliousness, his tortured capacity to believe and not believe, and finally to despair. Why would you do this, Sophia? Oh God. Yeah. It just like makes me want to pick up my book and just get lost in highlighting all of like the Nikki to Louis parallels. But ultimately, Lestat wins. Am I right, guys? I thought that I had TV all next to me, but I forgot. It's in my laptop bag because I was working at the coffee shop today. So we could go back and forth. We could just start like reading off different quotes and things, but my bag's upstairs. So alas. Alas? Alas. And 2.5, Louis asked Armand if he would cut his hands off, and he couldn't know that about Maples and mention for the book readers. I mean, maybe. Like, I think it was a mention for the book readers. Or maybe, like, Armand has a crazy night where he admitted a few little things to Louis. But again, maybe, like, twisted the truth into, like, I had to, you know? It was my only choice. So, without giving away too much information, because I think, you know, he's very, because maybe Louis might have had questions and tried to pursue Armand about it. He's like, I know that you have information, so can you tell me some information about it? And he did, but in a way that benefited him. Or yeah, maybe it was just a nod to book readers to give them a little something to gnaw on. Who knows? Who knows? Do we have more? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Can't believe we haven't discussed this. Cheeky little fellas, right? Cheeky little fellas. No room left at the end. Me and him both. Forgot that that was a reference. I like to imagine that Eric was trying to answer the call and he just couldn't figure out how to on his phone, and he actually ended up accidentally hanging up on them. But what do I know? Assad and Luke hanging out, trying to call Eric and have a little Devil's Minion trio. Very important. correct? We can all agree that that's very important. Other things that are very important, the Vampire Lestat tour. We have 2 stops in Colorado. We have a Denver and a Boulder. That's right. So I get to see him twice. That's right. And then I go home. I fly home. I visit my family. And I go see him in Nashville. As well as hang out with my friends in Charleston, South Carolina. And I see him again. And then see him once more in Savannah, because that's just like an hour and a half, 2-hour drive from Charleston. And then Marietta, not that far from where I live back home. And then I hit up Mobile and New Orleans again as well. So, love that we're really going all over the map for the Vampire Lestat tour. And I love that it's smaller locations. I mean, are you in Kansas City, Savannah? I got a friend in Kansas City. I'm coming out to Kansas City as well, all right? I got free housing there. But I love that it seems like we're doing smaller locations for this, which I think is also very smart for the show, because like initially when they announced that he was doing a tour, obviously in my mind I'm like, oh, Lestat stadium tour around the world. Everyone's gonna be like as crazy about him as I am. But I think it makes a lot more sense actually for a breakout artist to be like more underground and doing these smaller venues. And then with all the artists that they've released, you know, inspiration for, especially with like early Bowie, T-Rex, all those earlier, I want to say, didn't Roland say at like Comic-Con last year some books that he was reading in preparation for season 3, and one of them was about like the underground rock and roll scene of the 70s and 80s and everything. So I think it's going to be very much more underground type of vibe, which makes sense with like all the shirtlessness and the crazy dye, and it just makes more sense for the character, and also from like a logistics standpoint to be able to book smaller locations, more intimate locations where he can really get up close and personal with fans, and cameras can get really up close and personal with him. I think that makes a lot of sense. Oh my god, my nose is driving me crazy. Oh yeah. These are some of the smaller venues that I was talking about. But this, I don't know. Did you guys see this about like the Shakespeare Bar and some other bars and kind of have an older vibe? I was thinking this could either be musical venue, this could be a vampire bar venue, or it could be like 1700, like trying to stage this for 1700s and maybe some golden moments scenes with Nikki, specifically this Shakespeare Bar thing. Like, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking, Savannah. That's the vibe I got as soon as I saw it. But, again, what do I know? Ruthven Park, 100%, I think this is going to be the Leoncourt estate. And they were filming outside, too, like in the woods. So, I don't know. This feels... I think this is it, guys. I think this is it. News came out for at least one of those venues that it was a band rehearsal spot. I saw that for... Did I? Oh, shit. Maybe I didn't include it. No, I didn't, apparently. But yes, I did see that for one of the locations. But not for the Shakespeare Bar specifically, I think. I don't think. You can correct me if I'm wrong about that later on. Like I said, this one, as soon as I saw it, I was like, We're gonna see some human Lestat and some Nikki sharing some wine, getting drunk, getting yelled at by the barkeeper and kicked out and like hanging out on rooftops and just living their sweet young lives. Oh, what a world we live in, right? What a world we live in. Rockstar Lestat's coming to us soon. Wolf Killer Lestat's coming to us soon. Golden Moment. The Witch's Place. Magnus's Tower. Paris. Renaud's. All of that. It's coming to us very soon. So with that I say, I've been holding in my pee for a long time, as usual. I don't know what it is about going live that really just sets my bladder off. But it does. This happened every Zoom interview as well. By the end of them, I was always like bouncing up and down. I don't know. I think it's, for some reason, it sends me into a little bit of a panic. And then panic makes me pee. That's what the P in panic stands for. Piss. I can't think too hard about the fact that they've already filmed at least one episode of material already. Shut up. And the alcohol. Well, to be honest though, it's been like an hour and 20 minutes and I've only drunk this much, so it's not a whole lot. But whatever. I think with the interviews, it is my one of my nervous habits was to like drink my water because I always felt like my mouth was dry, and then yeah, that made me pee really bad. Thanks for hanging around, guys, for this long stream. I hope that you had fun. I hope that you enjoyed watching this in your mirror with me, even though, honestly, how well can you really see my computer screen? It looks pretty kind of like blurry on my phone. But anyways, you're welcome for feeding your obsession. I'm here with my breadcrumbs to give it to you all the time. That sounded weird, and I'm sorry. I'll see you guys later. I may be seeing you in San Diego. Sophia, I will for sure see you in San Diego. And anyone else who might be there. I'm gonna go to the bathroom.